see. Can you see me? Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Danny's Show. I am here, and this week it's gonna be a bit of a different type of Danny Show. I'm just gonna talk to you guys about something that has been on my mind for a while. This video is gonna, I don't know if it's a vlog, I don't know if it's a regular Danny Show, but I do know what I want to talk about. This past weekend I went to a retreat. And to explain why I went to the retreat, you have to know a little bit about my past. And a lot of people who watch the Danny Show don't know about my past, because I am not good at talking about the past. But basically, let's take a trip down a couple years. Let's start off before I was in a youth group. Yes, I was in a youth group. It was called ADLE, stood for Adolescentes de la Esperanza, which basically translates to Teens of Hope. And before I was in that youth group, I was probably near 300 pounds. I was undiagnosed with depression, anxiety, probably social anxiety, and like I didn't have any friends. I didn't do anything but watch TV and go to school. But I hated school so much. I didn't even know I was gonna say this. My grandma passed away. My grandma was one of my best, like she was like a mom to me, because my mom would always work. And she passed away, and when she passed away, it sort of hit me that I was mortal, that I could die any second, at any time, and I missed her terribly. And I turned to church, and I went to ADLE, and in ADLE, it was sort of everything to me. When once I got in the youth group, I met some of the best people in the world, some of the kindest, some of the most interesting people, and it was great. Like I would call it heaven on earth. It was like amazing. I was given a leadership role in that group, and I was in charge of the choir. I was in charge of Ignites, which were these nights where we could basically, they were free for us to do whatever we wanted, as long as whatever we wanted had a message. Now, I felt like I was where I belonged, basically. It was amazing. I don't even know how to explain it. A couple years back, I started like in 2011, and then in 2014-15, I got kicked out of that group. It was this whole scandal that I don't know if I want to get into. It wasn't anything like bad, like horrible, but and I wasn't kicked out technically. It's just they basically did everything in their power to make me not belong anymore. I was kicked out of the choir coordination. I was basically kicked out of every coordination. I wasn't allowed to talk to the teens anymore because there had to be a separation, even though they were my friends for years. I couldn't be friends with them anymore because I was over 18 and they were still 17, which wasn't a real thing. It was mostly because they knew that I got along with them. They knew that I was their friend when they couldn't be their friend, because they had so much pride in being leaders that they totally forgot the point of being leaders is to guide, not the title of being leaders. I mean, I never even liked the leadership role. I was put in it at a young age, and when I didn't even know I couldn't even be a leader for myself, I was put in a place where I had to be a leader for these teens. And I did my best, but I think the thing that made me better was that I didn't know what a leader was. So I wasn't their leader. I was more a guy who was put under pressure to figure it out before everybody else. And that's what made me love it. Anyways, long story short, I got kicked out of the group, and it was probably, next to my grandmother passing away, the hardest, most painful thing that I've gone through. It was my best friends, which I will not name because I don't want to throw shade. I don't want to, make anybody feel uncomfortable. But my best friends, they basically abandoned me. I was left alone through this depression. Well, not alone, because a lot of people did stay with me. After I left the group, a lot of people left as well. A lot of people that I really care about, and even still care about, have followed me. It was the hardest depression that I've ever gone through. I remember it just felt like, imagine being somewhere that you felt you belonged, the one place that you felt important, the one place that you felt like nothing can hurt you, because that's where you felt right. Imagine being kicked out of, like, I don't know, kicked out of heaven, I guess. I don't want this to be a depressing video because I'm not a depressing guy, but it hurt like hell. It did. Turn back to last week, where we were getting out of church, and my mom asked, "Are you going to this retreat?" And I said, I don't know. And I was feeling really happy, so I said, yeah, I'll go, but I don't know if I want to go. Like, my sister said she was going to, so I'm like, okay, we can both go and it'll be fun. So I signed the paper. My ex-girlfriend, who also shall not be named, was actually giving out the papers. My ex-girlfriend from ADLE. There's a whole nother story surrounding her, and she's a great person. Like, I don't wanna, like, she was my best friend before even we started dating, and like, I'm not gonna throw any shade at her. I know she's amazing. She's a great person, but there's a lot of miscommunication. There's a lot of pride between us that, like, we don't want to let go of. My ex-girlfriend was basically giving out the papers to the retreat, and she was there, and then she's like, "Do you want to go?" And I said, "Yeah, sure, I'll go." So as I was saying, sorry, my neighbor from my backyard, my neighbor came walking by, and I did not want to pretend like I was talking to myself in front of him. Yeah, she gave me the paper, and I was actually kind of excited, because at least I knew my sister was going, and at least I thought everything was gonna be okay because my sister was going, and everybody, I don't know, I just needed a break from everything surrounding me. So I'm like, yeah, 3 days far away from this place would be actually perfect. Well, the day came, and here's a couple clips from the day. Hey guys, so I think I'm gonna vlog, and this is gonna be a vlog, and I'm gonna vlog. we are going, I am going to a retreat because someone didn't want to go. But like, I'm not being petty or anything. Yeah, but like, I'm going to a retreat, guys, and we're gonna see how it goes. We're gonna praise Jesus for a little bit, you know? Okay, so I'm gonna go and
I can't see shit.
I'm gonna be in a retreat and hopefully I don't die before I get there. Okay, bye.
Finally, we're vlogging right.
Excuse me, I have 124 subscribers. Yeah, so Jocelyn, thank you for being my surprise.
Yay! You think I'm your surprise? Joke's on you, but wait. Put the camera. There's more.
Okay. So apparently everyone that's going to this retreat is a little older, and I feel a little bit insecure because I'm probably the youngest one that's gonna go, but it's fine because Karen didn't want to go.
So welcome to my vlog. Hi everybody. I'm pretty cool. I'm awesomer than Eric. So I'm like Gucci and he's Walmart of vlogging.
Okay.
You're like my insecurities.
My insecurities.
Oh no. I look like a thumb.
Yeah, but the pinky thumb. What? Bye. So let's get to the actual retreat. First of all, I was not excited, as you can tell from the videos. I was excited. No, I was nervous. Because I know how these retreats go. I mean, I helped prepare a retreat once. So I know how it is. I've been in and out. I've been through the craziest. I've experienced a lot of the inside of the church. So I know most of it. I know how it's run. I know a lot of the different types of people. And also, just a disclaimer, this is not like a video for like bashing religion or like bashing anybody else's religion. I am Catholic, but that doesn't mean that I don't respect or believe anything else other than Catholic teachings. Like if you were to know me well enough, you know that that I'm more spiritual than Catholic, but I still identify myself as Catholic. But if you believe in anything else, like I'm never gonna be like, no, like that's wrong, cause no, cause I'm not like that. I am really open-minded, really, and I don't judge anyone for anything, cause I know that I can be the worst at times. Anyways, yeah, so I went to this retreat, and I get there, and I didn't know anybody. Everyone was 50,000 years old. No, just kidding, not 50,000, but everybody was older than me, like way older than me, like probably 20 years older than me. So it was kind of awkward because I was definitely the youngest one in the bus. And so we got out of the bus. We saw a crowd of people waiting for us, and it was really cool. Then I saw my ex-girlfriend, and she looked like she did not want to see me. Well, I don't know if she didn't want to see me. I don't know if it was just my anxious brain talking. It was just like she didn't want to say anything or like be associated with me in any way. So I mean, I kind of understand that. what I did to her was not the best, but what she did to me wasn't the best either. Anyways, we're not talking about shade. So she got out of the bus. I mean, I'm sorry. I got out of the bus, and then they took us to our little cabin in the middle of the woods, which didn't have any reception, by the way. So there was no cell phone service, and it was in the middle of like a forest, and like I had no idea like what was going on at any time outside of that cabin. Anyways, they took us to the cabin. They took us to our beds, and okay. So they're like, "Oh, pick whatever bed you want." So I picked the one on my left next to the door, because I don't know, anxiety, I need to be close to doors or something to like just leave or breathe or get air. While we were walking over there, I noticed there was this guy that looked sort of around my age. Like he was definitely young, like not like the rest of them. Again, no shade. Yeah, so I'm like, yes, finally someone that's my age. Super excited. So then they were showing us around the place, and they were saying where the restrooms were and stuff. And to make conversation, my introverted buttocks goes up to him and like says, "Sorry, did you hear where the restrooms are?" And he's like, "Yeah, they're over there." And I'm like, "Oh, okay. Hi, I'm Eric." And he says, "Yeah, I know." And I'm like, how? Does he see the Danny Show? But let's be honest, not even you guys watch the Danny Show. So he just looked very angry. Like he looked very angry at me, at everyone around him. And I'm like, how the giggly gland does he know my name? How do you know my name? And then he's like, "'Cause I was an ADLE and you guys kicked me out." So I'm like, holy fuck. I'm like, well, if it helps, they kicked me out too, so it's not like you were the only one. And I'm really sorry. But he's like, no, it was mostly insert name of coordinator, insert name of ex-girlfriend, insert name of another coordinator. And he said, "You're actually kind of nice." I was like, okay, thank God this man does not hate me. So I'm like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm Francisco." And I remembered him. He was really small, and I remember he was kind of loud and outgoing. Definitely not like quiet or shy at all. He had a lot of energy, which didn't play well to the ADLE coordinators back then. I'm not sure now. Now it's a totally different group, guys. It's really like I don't know anything about it anymore. Like it looks like it from the pictures I've seen, it looks really fun, really like it fits the generation of every person. And anyways, it looks really cool. But back then it was like those people that were loud and obnoxious. I didn't want to say you were obnoxious, Francisco, if you're watching. But those people that were loud and outgoing and crazy, they were considered weirdos and they didn't fit in. And I saw in ADLE a whole bunch of times how if you were different, if you were loud, if you had like afro hair or looked too cholo, you were considered you were considered like you didn't fit in, which really sucks because if I was any other type of different, I wouldn't have been accepted to ADLE. So I just fit the right amount of different. And that really sucks because I think the weirder, the more crazy, the more effed up you are, the more friendly, the more I want to be your friend, the less filter you have, the better. I don't want anybody to walk around pretending like they're anybody else just to be my friend. If you're a weirdo, if you're a creep, if you literally wear socks on your hands and gloves on your feet, like, welcome. Yeah, ADLE didn't like that, and I saw a bunch of kids get kicked out because they were too loud, because they were different, because they didn't fit, and that really sucks. So Francisco, he said, yeah, I got kicked out of ADLE. Now I only believe in science. I am big on science. The only reason I'm here is because my grandpa wants me to be here. He's like, yeah, I don't believe in any of this. And any of this, I am a science guy. I am a science guy. Like, and then he's like, in fact, I think I'm gonna be an asshole like this whole trip because I don't believe in anything they're gonna say. And then I told him, okay, you can be an asshole, but only say the hurtful things to me, like about anything, because these people around, they're not gonna take you lightly. They will get angry. They will get hurt. I am open-minded enough to take anything you say and not take it offensively. So if you're gonna say anything crazy, anything you feel is offensive, say it to me, not anybody else. And then he's like, okay, then we should stick together. And basically we got along like that because we were both social introverts. We did not want to talk to anybody, which is weird because at the end of the day, he was not an introvert at all. He was crazy. He would talk to anybody, and I was still an introvert. I would still be like quiet and like throughout the whole thing, but yeah, we would just talk, and we hit it off like that. We sat in the corner on an introverted table because we were just that shy. It's 15 minutes in, and I don't think it's gonna be so bad. I met a friend, and he likes tortas and punch.
No, I don't. It's just something I can devour at the time that we're here.
So I was really thankful. I even told him, like, I'm so glad you exist because I was really scared that I was going to be alone this whole 3 days. And he's like, oh, no, like it's awesome. Like, I'm glad you're here too. And it was relieving knowing that somebody was there. Right. Then I ended up telling him, this is going to be an interesting 3 days because you're not going to be like everybody else around that's going to smile and agree with everything everybody says. Because throughout the whole my church experience, I dealt with people that that like followed blindly, which is sort of what you're called to do really in Catholic religion, but like I feel like God accepts it more when you question things, you know? You don't want to, like, you want to know why something is happening. You want to, I don't think it's bad to ask questions. I don't think it's bad to doubt, because with doubt comes insecurity, and but once that insecurity is secure, you have faith. Sorry, he didn't have a filter, which was great, because there's a lot of people who, in my experience, not saying that bad about anybody else, but in my experience, I've met some people that that follow the word of God blindly. They hate because they think you're supposed to hate, not for specific reason. Hate, like people that hate the sinners because they sinned when they don't know the reason or the reasons behind their sins. Because he didn't have a filter, which was great, and it was really cool being friends with him. And after a while, when we sat down to where they were gonna give us the talks about like these talks about church and faith and stuff, we sat down, and then this dude came along, and he's like, "Oh, hi," and he looked really shy and awkward. I'm like, "Are you an introvert too?" And he's like, "What?" And then I'm like, "Are you really shy?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm really shy." And then we're like, "Oh, then come with us, because we're really shy too." And so at the whole retreat, it was just me, Francisco, and this guy named Jesus. And we honestly got along like that. Like, we were really good friends because we were probably the youngest ones there. And it was pretty cool. Okay, yeah, so they took away the phones for a day.
What?
I'm vlogging.
Oh, hey.
Hey.
That's awesome.
This is Jesus. Not the Jesus we were all looking for, but the Jesus we all needed. And there was, in the retreat, there was, they kept talking about faith, and sorry, I'm turning on the car. The thing is that I was not sure about faith anymore. Which is okay, I guess, for some people, but like, the thing with me is there are reasons why I shouldn't have faith in just my growing up, my how I am. So as I was saying, there's a great line in this song by Fall Out Boy that says basically, the only payoff to having any faith is when it's tested again and again every day. It's basically saying like, if faith is tested, you like that's proof that and if you still have faith after it's tested, like, it's just like, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but they took away our phones for a couple days, and honestly, it was a mixture of anxiety, but like relief also, because there were so many things going on back here at home, and I was honestly getting so overwhelmed by everything that it was like 3 days without my phone was honestly like a blessing. Francisco is that he was so into science. He says that he says, and I sort of believe that he was touched by the Holy Spirit, and at the beginning he didn't believe in anything, but then I saw him faint, and it was honestly the like scariest, most surreal thing, because he wasn't the only one that fainted. There was a bunch of people who were fainting. I was like, is everyone like, someone fainted like across from me, and I'm like, shouldn't we be doing anything? Like, are they okay? And then I saw it happen to Francisco, a guy who said that science was everything, that like the Big Bang Theory was the cause of humans. Like, and then he said, he broke down crying. A guy who I knew when he was like way younger, who had so much faith, so much trust in the world, who I feel like who it was partially my fault that he lost his spark of faith, was regaining it. And honestly, that was one of my goals that weekend, to have him re-spark his flame, because I know that like that when they took away my spark, I felt terrible, and I can only imagine how he felt. And I know it sounds like I'm being all like Christian and like faith and stuff, but honestly, it's not even about faith. There's some people I know that like have no religion that are saints. Like, it's not about that. Like, you don't have to believe in what I believe in to be a saint. That's definitely something I want to make clear, because as I recently learned from a new friend, the world is made up of religion. Every religion holds pieces of a puzzle that we don't want to put together, is basically what he said. There's a bunch of different religions that basically say the same thing: be kind to one another, you know, which is basically what I want. Like, I want my saying to be like, just be kind to one another, just have a kind heart, be a kind person, and you're set, you know. But yeah, and then Jesus, who I wish I could have gotten closer to, he broke down too, and they both broke down, and then it was awesome. Like, I was happy for them because they were feeling faith, but I still wasn't breaking down. I was denying everything. I was like, I'm glad they're feeling it, but I told Francisco, he's like, don't worry, you'll break down. I mean, you'll feel it too. And I said, honestly, I don't know if I can feel it. I gave 120% to this group a long time ago. I gave them my days, my nights, my sweat, my tears, everything. Like 100% of me, 110% of me. And I felt like it was for nothing. Like, at the end, they kicked me out. They were ungrateful. Or I don't know. It just felt like I couldn't give that same 120%. So then it was the last talk, which was basically giving up. It was about the Holy Spirit, Holy Ghost to some, just a direct contact with the big man himself. And it started off really, like, it was probably the saddest, most intense talk I've ever experienced in my whole life, and I've experienced some really intense talks with some really intense people, but this was probably the most, like, and it was basically Francisco said that I was gonna feel something, and I told him I gave 120% and I didn't want to feel anything anymore. He said, don't worry, it'll happen. And I said, I don't know if I even want it to happen. And he said, I told him, I gave 120%. And then he said, we'll give 120% again. And I didn't get what that meant. I didn't understand what he meant by that. So then it got all intense. The room got dark. Prayers were being said left and right. Everyone was really, like, intense, and like, I don't know. It's just like a mess in my head. I got up and I got in front of the cross, kneeling. Then there was this conversation in my head, like I was saying how why did this happen? Why did I get kicked out of the place that I thought was heaven? And why did everything happen? And it was basically, the answers were given to me, and at the end I realized I gave 120%, and it hurt like hell. when I was kicked out. But I realized that love was worth it. Like, the time that I spent there was worth all the pain, all the depression, all the sadness, because, like, if you truly love something and you fail, get up. Like, if you truly love it and you get stabbed in the back and you get hurt but you know that it's pure and you love it, then falling shouldn't matter. And that goes with everything, with learning something, with studying something, and you fail really bad and it hurts to fail, but you truly love it, keep doing it. If you're learning how to play the ukulele or some instrument and you totally suck, but you love it, keep doing it, keep learning, because at the end, the love for something you have should be worth all the pain and all the failures. And I guess that's what I learned. I learned that even though it hurt like hell, I shouldn't let that stop my faith. Because at the end, like, what was my faith if it would have just it would have just broken down? At the end, it was a really good 3 days. I made 2 new friends. I learned a lot. And it was amazing. I probably won't be posting this video publicly. I'll probably just make it for some of my friends in the description somewhere and they'll find it. But that's what I learned. And thank you for listening to my story. Remember to share your awkward smile to the whole world, because it is beautiful. And bye.